Hi guys, it's Kelly here. It is no secret that I love large florals for a multitude of reasons, but today's video we're going to be concentrating on using large florals in 3 different layouts and kind of how you can get more out of them. I also think that like with larger florals, sometimes we look at it as a larger image and think that maybe there's only one thing or one orientation that we can use it, and that's not true. So this is Summer Smiles. This is a set that I actually illustrated for Honeybee Stamps, so I'm super excited about that. I'm more excited because it has layering stencils, and I know that's a huge one for you guys, that you love the layering stencils. We're going to talk along the way kind of about different tips you can get for like a softer, more no-line style look, and then I have a little boo-boo to share toward the end as well. So here, my original goal of creating the cards was to do a 5x7 and an A2 or a 4 1/4 by 5.5, because I know that those are very popular card sizes, and I wanted to show you no matter what kind of style you prefer, like size-wise, that you can use these for both. So my first tip for getting more of a no-line look is to stamp your image in a no-line ink. There's a lot of stamp stencil die suites on the market, and they sometimes you can use the stencils without the stamp, but sometimes you can't. And so I love the look of the ones that are just the stencil because they're nice and soft, but I like being able to line up my images with my stamp for ease of use. So stamping it in a no-line ink, like this one from Honeybee, allows me to kind of get the best of both worlds. I also have another way that you can stamp them that I'll show you later on after we do our stenciling. So with the no line ink, I do like to stamp mine twice just because it gives me a little bit more of a line to work with. And then I am using a cling mat here that would just to hold my stencil. Honeybee does clear stencils, so it's nice and easy to line them up and see where everything should be. And then the color scheme that I chose, I actually chose because I wanted to come up with a one that I would like for a peach, for another card that I'm doing. So I was like, oh, this is a good time to experiment. So I ended up going with dried marigold, saltwater taffy, and then sometimes my darkest color is abandoned coral, and sometimes my darkest color is picked raspberry. Both are really pretty. I was really happy with the way that they came out. But basically, I'm just going in with a larger brush first, just because it's going to cover more surface area with my lightest color. And then I'm going to go in with my mid-tone about halfway up. And then my darkest color is really just going to be kind of like in the darkest portion, kind of like the nooks and crannies. I typically almost never stencil with one color unless I'm trying for a different look, which actually I have a video on that coming up too. Here, some of the layers have petals on them and also petals and leaves. So you'll see sometimes that I am masking off sections, and the sections that I am masking off are actually the leaves. This is sped up quite a bit, just because once you kind of see how I'm laying down the color, it doesn't really change. And because the image is so large, we do kind of have a lot of surface to color. Fortunately, it does go by really, really quickly. So here with the first one, I did the abandoned coral, and then for this one, I'm going to do the picked raspberry so you can kind of see the difference. I like them both. I think I might like the picked raspberry just a hair more, but I do love a pinky peach. For my greens, I went with bundled sage and pine needles. I only chose 2 colors. The leaves are not like that large, so there's not a lot of real estate, so 2 colors is fine to get a little bit of depth. I do recall in the Honeybee release party, they were talking about what kind of flowers these were, and nobody was 100% sure. They are camellias. That is what they are. The whole reason that I went to Honeybee with the idea for this larger florals that I really wanted to create, is because they are easier to color. So if you're somebody who you're like, hey, I love stenciling, I love laying down the color, I love the images, great. If you are also a person who's like, hey, I'd really love to learn how to color something like this, larger florals are infinitely easier to learn how to color. And I think that they're more versatile. So I wanted to create something like that. And so I hope that you love them as much as I do, because I love them. I'm so happy with the way that they came out. So again, this is totally sped up. There are stencils in this one for the largest image, and then in the set there's also a smaller Camilla and a set of like leaves. There's stencils for those as well. And they come together, like I said, really quickly. I just could not love them more. So anyway, I sat on this video for like a week because the stencils and the dies were sold out. So I was kind of waiting for that to come back around. And then here, this again, we're moving through them pretty quickly. This is the last one, and the last one has these last couple little leaves and then the centers. So for this, I did clean it in between. That's what you saw me doing there, just so I wouldn't get yellow where I didn't want, or green where I did. Yeah, I didn't want to pick up the green with the yellow. That's what I'm trying to say. So I did some mustard seed and then a little bit of shading with some brushed corduroy to put those centers in. I'm going to show you a little trick a little later on for that kind of smoother no line look, but helps you still maintain the details. And then so this is the whole large image. This is how I'm going to kind of put that line work back in, not bold, but a little bit softer, but still kind of makes it a little bit more detailed. And so I am going to use my distress oxides. If you guys have watched my channel, you know that I don't use my distress oxides for a lot, but they do stamp nicely because of their pigment properties, and they dry back soft. So I am using the abandoned coral and iced spruce. Now, I did not ink blend with iced spruce, but the bundled sage and the oxides is a little bit more yellow green than the distress ink, and so I wanted it to be more teal. So I just lined that back up and then stamped right over it. If you know that you're going to do that, just leave it in your MISTI or your stamp position, or if you have the stamp wheel or whatever it is, just leave it in there, and then you won't have to worry about lining them back up like I did. And you'll see with this one right here, I end up making a mistake, and I thought that it was lined up, but it's not, but I'm going to teach you how to fix that too. So this week is vacation week. So far on vacation week, you might have noticed that I have not been around a lot. That's because I'm spending a lot more time with my family, which is lovely. And I have a fundraiser coming up this Saturday that I'm busy doing things for. So we had a couple of pool days, and then we did go up to the lake with Eric's family, which was wonderful. We lucked out with like a really, really great weather. Okay, so here, this is the same thing. I'm inking it up with that abandoned coral and that iced spruce. But unfortunately, this time it was slightly off. My alignment was slightly off. And so here's how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to go back to my stencils. And now this time I'm going to line it up with the stamp line that we just stamped, the one that's more prevalent, that's in the abandoned coral. And then I'm going to take my lightest color and I'm going to go in and I'm going to blend right over top of that until it blends in. This isn't, it's not going to fix it 100%. Like the parts in the middle, you'll still be able to see, some of that ink might be a little bit off, but it does fix it, like the silhouette of it for the most part. And you can always go back in and take it so that it's a little bit darker, which is what I ended up doing. And then that's like, you can see it off to the right there. You're not even really going to notice that it's kind of off stamped. So here I am lining up my dies. I have two full floral arrangements, and then I got one that I stamped off the page, and then I have the extra flower and the leaf. Like I said in the beginning, my intention was to create 2 cards. I ended up having enough leftovers to make 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine. I say because I have a mouse in my pocket, and it is my 4-year-old. So you can see she is actually the one running it through the die through the die cutter. So here I was just kind of like messing around with the different ways that we can lay this out. I wanted to show you that you can use, like if you're doing a 5x7, you can tuck this extra flower in there, tuck in an extra set of leaves, make this as large as you want. You could even do this as like a like a framed print for your wall. The images are so large. And then, so now I'm kind of starting to mess around with how I'm going to put them together. You can build it up at the bottom or the top. You could do them kind of like the smaller one at the top, larger at the bottom, and then balance it out with the sentiment up top. What I ultimately ended up deciding to do, I will leave me with enough extra leftovers to make a third card. So here, this is the trick you can use to put the detail back into your no line images if you feel like you've lost it a little bit. So I'm going to go with colored pencils. Now, one of these, I'm going, this one right here, in case you were wondering, this one right here, I am going to do a lot of detail work with pencils. Not a ton. You'll still see the majority of the stenciling, but I'm going in, and as Kathy Rakusin used to say, doing like the little nooks and crannies, and you'll be able to tell at the end which one is different for sure. But this is a helpful trick if you want the centers, the stamens, or things try to get a little lost. That's super helpful to have that little colored pencil detail to help them kind of come forward. The 5x7 card was feeling like it was a little bit, it needed something. And so I chose to use these, what are they called? Colorista. I picked them up from scrapbook.com. I'll link them below. They're metallic markers, and they have this one, which is kind of like this jadish green color, which matched my leaves really nicely. And so I did like a 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. I do love a framed in look. I am who I am, and don't judge me. And then that way I could put these on here, and it made everything feel a little bit cozier. Like my design was a little less floating and a little bit more full. So I ended up using that. For the sentiments, these are all from the same set. I didn't use anything besides the Summer Smile set, but I did grab this. This is an Altenew ink called Eucalyptus, and I did stamp them twice to get a nice bold sentiment. But oh yeah, we were talking about what were we talking about? We were talking about the summer. Yeah, so we went up to the lake. We had really great weather. My son wore out the water slides. I also did some water sliding. More on this later. So we had a really good time. Most of the time there was a little bit of a disaster on the way up. But we were we were able to move around it. You know how it is traveling with kids. And so we had intentions of taking them to the drive-through movies. You guys ever do the drive-through movies? My grandmother had a drive-through movie theater at the end of her street. Like there was railroad tracks, and on the other side of the railroad tracks was the drive-in movie theater. So I used to sit in my girlfriend Erin's backyard in her treehouse, and we would just turn on the radio, and then we would watch the movies. We only had a view of one of the screens though, so whatever was playing on there is what you were stuck with. But anyway, so we were going to do that. We were going to take them. They have Minions, and then the second feature was Toy Story 5. But these Canadian wildfires have Northeast Ohio covered in smoke. So prayers to them, because I can't even imagine what it's like there. So we have not been, we didn't want to sit outside with the kids. And then tomorrow we have plans to go to what my son lovingly refers to as the fish zoo. So we will be going to the aquarium. So anywho, so once I got these all on there and I trimmed off the extra, here, this one up at the top, I'm going to fill in this corner with just an extra leaf. And as you can see from the other card that I did, that I used a marker, and on that one I had to use some colored pencil. But anyway, I just blended them in so that you wouldn't be able to see that white. And then look, I had this enormous piece left over, and then I still had that single guy from before. So I created the one on the left. I just mimicked that same kind of frame, added a hello sentiment up there at the top, and I was able to create 3 cards out of the ones that I already had. Of course, we did some white gel pen highlights, and then I used some gemstones and pearls to accent my sentiments. These are on sale over on the Honeybee website, as well as the rest of the release, which is amazing. I do have more projects coming up with those, but another quick look. This is the one that has the colored pencil here. And then we have the 5x7, and then of course the little extra bonus card that we made. I hope that this inspires you to use your larger florals, and that you'll check out the whole set. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I always appreciate you, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.